On this episode of Hawk Nation Sports, we'll discuss what the Thanksgiving football game tradition is all about, and a major announcement will be made, so be sure to stick around. Why do we play football on Thanksgiving? Schools are closed, so why have the high school teams play on this special day? It's because of the tradition. High school football influenced the professionals to play on Thanksgiving, actually. In 1966 was when the pros first began to play on Thanksgiving. In 1882 was when high school first began playing on this special holiday. Not too far from Waltham, Needham and Wellesley first originated this tradition in 1882. Here's the amazing fact. They still continue the tradition to this day, and they'll be clashing for the 126th time this year. So what about Waltham? What's the background behind the Hawks Thanksgiving games? Well, I was able to talk to some of the past and present players who have some knowledge on our tradition. So, Coach Bork, when you played, who did you play against on Thanksgiving?
Well, I played back from 88 to 91, and in the early stages we played against Brockton High School, which was a huge rivalry back then. Brockton is still very competitive to this day. Very big school, so it was a hard-nosed football team back then, and it still is to this day. And then my senior year, new coach took over. I'm not sure if that was part of the decision as to why we went away from Brockton, but we ended up playing Everett. And as we know, Everett is a powerhouse even today. So we ended up beating them that year. So my senior year, we went 9-1. We lost to Peabody that season, and they went on to play in the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. The year after, I believe we played Everett again. That team was a Super Bowl team here at Waltham High School, and I believe they beat Everett that year as well. So, yeah, it was competitive. It was awesome. Thanksgiving Day game is a great thing. It's unique to high school. I played in college as well, and we didn't have that. So I don't know any different. Thanksgiving, I've always been involved in the game, whether it's been coaching or playing.
Nice, nice. All right. So why did we change who we played on Thanksgiving? What's the reasoning?
I think a location plays a huge role sometimes. I think, after we went over to Everett, and then I believe soon after that they began to play Walpole, which became a big physical game, and was a great rivalry then. And then Coach Maybury took over, and then we went back to Brockton. And I don't think that rivalry was still there. I don't think people were coming out to the games. You got to understand, back when we played Brockton back in the day, if you will, thousands of people were at the game. They would stand around Larry Field track 3 deep. It was huge. I think high school football was big back then in terms of community and whatnot. Now there's so many things going on. I think it's a faster paced life, and I think we lose some of that. But anywho, after the Walpole, we went back to Brockton, and I think the location just wasn't conducive to, Thanksgiving Day games tends to bring in a lot of money, and that money goes to paying for all the different sports and events and whatnot, and that wasn't happening. So perhaps that plays a role. But I think when you're closer in vicinity to your Thanksgiving Day game, it makes it easier for people to attend. Therefore, the gate is a little higher, and it becomes a more profitable endeavor. So at the end of the day, we went away from Brockton. They decided to play Bridgewater Raynham, which is right next door. Makes sense to them. Then we're looking for a Thanksgiving Day game, which is not like picking up a game anywhere in the season. It's far different, right? Everyone has their rivalry established and games established. So Malden Catholic happened to be available, and so we picked them up. We've been playing them now this will be year 5. So it's been good.
Mm-hmm. All right, so how successful have we been against Malden Catholic on Thanksgiving?
Well, We've played them 4 times. They've won 2, and we've won 2. So this year's a big year for us. We play for the John Brewers Cup. There happens to be a Johnny Brewers in Waltham and one also in Malden. So the owner decided to kind of give the game a little bit more incentive, and so we play for that cup. So we've held it now for 2 years, and we're hoping to hold it another year.
Sounds good. All right, thanks, Coach.
All right.
The Stanowicks Thanksgiving. It's every Thanksgiving at the Stanowicks household. There's like 25 to 30 people, both from my mother's side and my father's side. My mom cooks maybe 5 turkeys. It's crazy, 5 turkeys. There's that many people. There's an array of desserts, truffles, cakes, brownies, ice cream, pies, such. Sometimes there's a family football game, not always, depending on the weather. If it's cold, people want to play or not, I don't know. But that usually happens. That's pretty much sums up. Oh, always football. You always got to watch, what is it, Dallas? Dallas and Green Bay, right? Yeah, you always got to watch that. Fantasy football this year, too. 2-8. It's not that good, but make our way through. It's always cold. It's always a cold game. What was it? Sophomore year, it was home in the morning. That was freezing. Last year was away at Malden Catholic in the cold rain. I didn't even play that one. That was even colder, but we got the nice jackets, so you stayed a little bit warmer. It's a fun game. It's Thanksgiving. That's what Thanksgiving's about. It's American. It's football and turkey and just stuff in your face. It's Thanksgiving.
It's always a good time because the family comes together and it's all smiles and laughs. We get to eat together, and we always like to pray before we eat because we all praise God, and that's important to us. So I love it. It's a great time. Well, I haven't played at Larry on Thanksgiving since sophomore year, but I remember it being a great time and everyone coming to see us play and support us because it's the last game. It's the last time seniors are going to put on a Waltham Hawks uniform, and it's the last game of the season for the underclassmen. So it's really important that we get this W because although we haven't had a great season, we're looking to finish strong.
Fellow Hawks superfans, a major announcement is about to be made. Superfanning is a huge part of athletics, not only in Waltham but everywhere. Having a home field, court, or rink is great, but having a major superfan section is huge. So Hawk Nation will now announce a Superfan of the Month. Someone who attends the games, is crazy, and helps fire up the Hawks. Starting in December, the Hawk Nation of the Month award will begin. The winner will receive a segment in Hawk Nation about that individual and their superfan experience. Good luck to all superfans, and let's fire up the Hawks. And one final thing before we sign off. Congratulations to the Waltham cheerleaders on coming in 5th in states and receiving a bid to nationals, putting Waltham on the map. Keep up the hard work, girls. Well, that's all we have for this week's show. Be sure to check out the next episode. Good luck next week, Waltham. Go Hawks.